I think the one thing we didn't talk about in the van is like the goal for me is in the van, I'm driving around and I'm doing these Sherpa breath and cold instructor trainings, trying to get more coaches into these practices so that they can utilize them, so that 1 million people can discover these practices. And really what it's about is navigating stress better, because we're stuck at that right now.
Sure.
We're getting softer maybe. And so doing all that. So I'm doing these workshops and all these paid things, but the end game for me as I roll into 2024 is to really try to find some more underserved populations. You know, like I'm going next week, and you may not feel like, oh, this is totally an underserved population, but next week I go to California and I'm working
totally
with
underserved in California.
A whole crew of dancers that dance for bigger artists, but these are like young dancers who are working with super famous artists who are really being treated a bit more like a number, and they have a lot of body dysmorphia, a lot of emotional concerns. I go to Denver after that. I'm working with a big at a BIPOC center to work with people who are coming out of really underserved economic communities, so that they can come in and just do donation only, or come and get these practices for free. And that's the end game for me, is like, how do I get across to all the humans, you know, with breath and cold exposure, and how do I find people who are like, I saw that crazy thing on Instagram and I'd never do that because it won't help me, or whatever, right? Like when I roll through Nebraska and I meet two little old ladies in the locker room that are like, we swim together every Tuesday. And I'm like, what about an ice bath? And they're like, hell no. And maybe it's a hell no for them. And that's okay. People should consent.
So this is what you do. You just basically go to these random places and try to suck people into ice baths?
I talk to people about breath and cold. Yeah.